Hey friends, I was just thinking the other day about how much I miss doing yoga together. And I just got done doing my yoga trapeze practice and I considered showing you guys some, but I thought instead today, how about I share my personal deep stretch with you guys? And I'm sorry if there's noise in the background, you know, kids are home for the holidays and excited about the Black Friday shopping they just got done doing. But if your body isn't warm right now, I strongly suggest pushing pause on this and coming back and maybe going and putting on your favorite song and dancing it out for a good 5 or 10 minutes just to get your body warm, because you're going to be able to go deeper into these stretches if your body's warm. I promise you, just saying. So I like to start by stretching out my hips. So we're going to do double pigeon, and if you're able to stack one knee on top of your ankle just easily like this, cool. If you need to put a brick or something under there, that's okay too. I personally like to take my yoga bricks and put them underneath my shins because it helps bring my sit bones down to the floor. I have a long torso, so it just helps keep my sit bones close to the floor. So inhale, lengthen your spine, and exhale, start to hinge forward wherever you are. So take long, deep breaths and breathe. So every inhale, think of drawing your breath around the places where you feel tightness. And on the exhale, imagine just letting it go. Take 2 more deep breaths. And slowly come up and uncross and recross on the other side. So stack your other leg on bottom, and it's important to have the knee on top of the ankle and the ankle on top of the knee. So wiggle onto your sit bones, sit up nice and tall, big inhale, and exhale, start to hinge forward and breathe. So inhale, lengthen your spine, and exhale, melt. And by the way, if you turn into this live or record it, do me a favor and say hi. I'd love to know who's on the other end. And if you don't mind, click that share button, because there might be a friend of yours who could really use a deep stretch. So let's take 3 more deep breaths here. Now slowly coming up. Now moving deeper into the hip and the IT band, moving into cow's face legs. So go ahead and stack your knees right on top of each other, or to the best of your ability. If they're kind of a little bit wonky or whatever, that's okay too. But we're getting deep into the IT band. I personally like to use my bricks for this too. So I take 1 brick and I'm going to put it underneath my knees, and then my bricks off to the side. So I'm going to lie my knees and my ankles on these bricks. Again, it just helps bring my sit bones down to the floor, and I get a deeper stretch. So inhale, lengthen your spine, so with your knees stacked. And then exhale, just start to hinge forward, and you may barely come forward, and that's okay. Or you may start to sink as far as you can. And the one thing many people don't realize is that most of us have low back pain because of tight hips and hamstrings. So if your back is hurting, you need to stretch those legs and those hips more. So let's take 2 more deep breaths. And come up and switch legs. Stacking your knees on top of each other to the best of your ability. And sometimes you gotta wiggle to find those sit bones and even move your flesh out of the way. We all have it. Inhale, lengthen your spine, and then exhale, start to hinge forward. Two more deep breaths. And then slowly come up. And go ahead and bring your feet together and your knees apart for butterfly pose, just to open up the groin. Now wiggle, wiggle, wiggle onto those sit bones. Sit up as tall as you can. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And then exhale, start to reach your heart and your crown of your head forward. And melt. Every inhale, lengthen the spine. And every exhale, surrender a little bit deeper. So in yoga, the word for breath is prana. It also means life force. So when I'm stretching, I like to imagine that I'm creating more space inside for spirit to come in. 2 more deep breaths. And slowly come all the way up. Good. So now let's stretch our hamstring. So put one leg out, the other leg in. You can have your foot on the inside of your thigh. Recently, I've been practicing with my ankle on top of my thigh. It just gets a deeper stretch. So inhale, lengthen your spine, whether your leg's on the inside or on top, and exhale, hinge. So on the inhale, draw your awareness to the crown of your head. And on the exhale, draw your awareness down to your tailbone. And every time you hinge on the exhale, pull your belly button in because it helps you hinge deeper. One more breath. Good, now come all the way up. Now let's ground through our foot, moving into a spinal twist. Feeling each sit bone on the floor. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And now exhale, start to turn towards your knee that's bent. And place your hand behind you like a kickstand. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And exhale, engage your pelvic floor and really feel your low belly start to twist. Inhale, lengthen your spine, draw breath into your rib cage. Exhale, twist your spine and engage your core. Inhale, lengthen your spine. I'm breathing into my upper ribs here. And then exhale, really pulling the low belly in. And then if you get deep enough in your twist and you want to find a bind, you can reach through the loophole of your leg and then grab hands. And then one more deep breath. And exhale, release it all. How far can you look with your gaze? And then slowly unwind. Now open up your hips a little bit and bring your foot to the inside of your thigh and open up your groin, moving into a lateral stretch here. Inhale, make sure your foot is flexed. Sit up nice and tall. Big inhale. Exhale, start to hinge forward. And you can reach on the inside of your foot. And if you can reach past your foot, then flip your palm up, 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 all the way until your palm touches the bottom of your foot. And if that doesn't happen, that's okay. And then reach your up arm up and over and breathe. And maybe you just be here. Maybe you're just here. Maybe you're here. Or maybe you come all the way down. I like to inhale. Imagine I'm opening up my heart. And then exhale, engaging the other side of the body. Breathe, open up and twist. Exhale. Really draw your awareness deep into your diaphragm. It helps you go deeper without forcing. One more deep breath. And then slowly coming up. Good. Same series on the other side. We're going to turn all the way the other way onto our mat, extending the opposite leg out. You can either bring your foot to the inside or you can stack your thigh up on top. So wiggle onto your sit bones, lengthen your spine. Big inhale. And exhale, start to hinge forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge. You should be breathing deeper now than you have all day. Really opening up and creating space. Drawing your breath to the crown of the head with every inhale and back to the tailbone with every exhale. One more deep breath. And slowly coming up for spinal twist. So cross your foot over, grounding through the foot. The foot is close to the knee. Sit up as nice and tall as you can. Big inhale. And then exhale, draw the belly button in as you start to turn your heart towards your thigh, your bent thigh. And grounding through the hand behind you. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, twist in the low belly. Good. Now see if once you're twisted now, it's hard to breathe into the belly. You've got to breathe into the ribs. Inhale, create space in your ribs. And then exhale, engage in the low belly. Now, if you're ready, you can reach, if it's there, you can reach your hand through the loophole of your legs. If it's not there, that's okay. Big inhale, breathe into your ribs. Exhale, twist in the low belly. And maybe your head and gaze go a little bit further. Never underestimate the value of your gaze. One more deep breath, lengthen. And exhale, twist. And then slowly unwind. Good, let's go to that side stretch again. So now open up the leg here. Make sure you're sitting up tall on your sit bones. And now remember, inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, as you start to lean down, you can either just reach your hand down in the inside and then reach up and over. I stretched even with my hand on my elbow or my hand on the back of my head for a long time to really keep that heart open. But then you can play around with, if you can reach past your foot, reach, and turn your palm up, and then rotate your hand back to where you grab onto your foot, and then inhale up and over to find your stretch. So it depends on where you are, it's okay. Inhale and exhale. So on my inhale, my awareness is all along the top body, and on my exhale is along the part that's closer to my leg to really contract. So I'm opening on one side, and I'm contracting on the other. 2 more deep breaths. 1 more. And then come all the way back up. Let's do a straddle in the middle, okay? So now open up both feet, flexing both feet. Bring your hands behind you and give yourself a little push forward. That feels good. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And then exhale, maybe you're just here. If you feel a deep stretch in your hamstrings and your groin here, that's okay. If you don't, you go deeper. So inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, hinge forward as far forward as you can go without rounding your spine. If you have to round to get here, don't do it. You're going to end up injuring yourself more than you are going to be doing good. So just breathe and melt wherever you are. Let's find our depth. 3 more deep breaths. One more. And slowly come all the way back up. Moving into frog pose. So come up onto your knees and open up your knees as wide as you can. Bring the inside edges of your feet down to the mat as well. So knees down, inside edges of your feet down in line with your heels. And then can you come down to your elbows and then push back in your hips. So on the inhale, draw your awareness to the crown of your head. On the exhale, back to your tailbone. And breathe. And notice, does it change the stretch for you if you tilt your tailbone down or lift your tailbone up? Good. And breathe. Ladies, this is a great stretch to do before intimacy time with your man, just saying, or with your lady, just saying, to open up your body. 2 more deep breaths. And then slowly coming out. So shift your weight forward, bring your knees more together. And then shift back. We're moving back, we're getting close to the end. Okay, so I'm gonna stretch my quadriceps in modified hero's pose or in hero's pose. But if that's too much for your body, an option is to lay on your belly. You can lay on your side and stretch one quadricep at a time, grabbing your foot. But what I like to do, I do this pose because this is a pose that I've been practicing yoga for almost 20 years, and this is a pose that I've only been practicing for about the past 5, because this was one of the poses that my body told me that I couldn't do because, you know, bad knees run in my family, and I thought I would never be able to do this pose. But then I realized that when I sit in the poses that are the most uncomfortable for me, I get the most out of them. So I'm going to bring my knees together and my feet apart. Notice I put a blanket here to make it softer for my feet and to also raise the floor a little bit. So knees are together, feet are apart. I'm going to grab my calves, roll my calves open, and sit down in between my heels. My legs are already screaming right now. My quads are already screaming right now. I'm just going to take 2 more deep breaths because I know that I'm not going to break. And now I'm going to lean back into it. Now, you can always take a brick. Sometimes this is what I like to do, is take a brick right behind my heart as I start to lay down, and I'm going to lay it there. So as I come back, I don't have as far to go. but my body says it wants the whole enchilada today. So I'm gonna take the brick out. Oh goodness, and this is always a stretch in which because it's intense. And so the more I and release and let go, the less I hold on, the more open I get, the deeper stretch I get. One more deep breath. And I'm going to come out of it by slowly coming up to my elbows and up to my hands and easing my way out of it. I'm going to go instantly back to my back, knees in, release the low back. And if it sounds good, my favorite thing to do after that is plow pose. Big inhale and kick your feet up and over into a deep stretch for your hamstrings and your back. Great opportunity to go upside down. Choose to hang out here, or maybe bring your feet up to the sky. We're almost done, friends, for those of you who are wondering, how much time we got left? Good. Excellent. Now bring your feet behind you, roll all the way down to your back. Arms by your side, knees bent, feet flat on the floor, lift your hips up to the sky. And maybe walk your shoulder blades underneath you. Or if you want to go for real, bring your hands next to you, big inhale. And come all the way up into your back bend, only if you want to. Good. Draw your awareness to the crown of your head on your inhale. And on the exhale, back to your tailbone. Follow the breath up and down your spine. Stay in your body. 2 more deep breaths. I'm engaging my glutes to help push my hips higher. And then slowly, coming back down. Draw your knees into your chest. We're going to end with a spinal twist. And then we're going to be done today. Take one more deep inhale. Extend one leg out. Draw one knee into your chest. Take an inhale. And exhale, draw your knee across your body. Reach your opposite hand up to the sky. And then draw, bridge it out. Gaze and hand are going in the opposite direction of your knee. So inhale, find space, exhale, twist and relax. 2 more deep breaths. 1 more. Bring your head back to center, come back to center, bring both knees into your chest, give them a big hug, and switch sides. Extend your opposite leg, draw your knee in, big inhale, and move it across the body into your spinal twist. Oh, that's where my hip always pops up each time. Reach your opposite arm to the sky, gaze goes in the opposite direction. Twist and breathe. Bring your head back to neutral. Bring your legs back to neutral. Pull your knees into your chest. Good, and just rock side to side on your spine, massaging your low back. Good. Now I'm going to go do my meditation. And I'm not going to guide you in a meditation because I want to get my own meditation in. So what I'm going to do as soon as I turn this off, in the comments, I'm going to put a link to my website, to the guided meditations on my website. So if you feel like you want to go meditate now, you absolutely can. Do me a favor though, share this post. And number 2, I'm going to put in the link of the comments, the link to Effervescent Events. It's Jacob and my event company. And you're going to find a full slew of workshops, online workshops, about yoga, about dance, about spirituality, about sexuality and sensuality and food and nutrition, a full line of online workshops, and that you're going to find about them through Effervescent Events. So please follow us. Thanks so much, guys. Peace, love, and fairy dust. Pew.